Hi, Dodong.
Hi babes, kamusta? How are you?
I'm alright. How are you?
Ayos naman. Eto, busy. Welcome to
Dodong and Friends podcast.
yan. Episode ano na ba tayo?
4.
Ba, episode 4, consistent.
Pansinin niyo naman yung yung CNY jacket niya. Tingnan mo. Siya lang yung nakabili ng CNY jacket sa amin. Tatlo kami kasing nagpunta sa China last week.
Fresh from China yan.
Original.
Original.
Hindi. You know what happened? Naswertihan niya kasi when we were there after na ng Chinese New Year. For the majority of the days we were there. So, naka 50% off na yung jacket actually. You got it for 50% off.
Yeah. Pero malalaki na yung sizes.
Yeah, sold out na lahat.
Yeah.
Like, we went into, parang marami kaming, ilang stores rin yung pinasukan namin. Isa lang yung meron, tas 2XL lang. So, he's wearing a 2XL.
Grabe yung hype na to, no?
Oh, yeah.
Hype, so, buti nakakuha tayo.
So, yun. Yeah. So, gang si Dodong today.
So, hopefully guys, napanood niyo yung vlog namin na
Oh, yeah.
dun sa China.
We did a podcast outdoors first time.
Yeah.
First time.
Yun, babes, no? So, for konting kalaman lang, guys, no? If you hold a Canadian passport, kasi nung nag-apply tayo, we have to apply for visa papuntang China. So, ngayon, starting nung February 17 yata, I believe, nung andun tayo sa China, nagkaroon
nila
ng
announcement
na
effective na siya.
Effective na. So, if you hold a Canadian passport, you can actually go there.
You don't need a visa anymore. Yeah. Just book a flight and then fly na.
Yeah, I mean, you're allowed to stay there up to 30 days every time you visit.
That's good.
So if you're planning to go there, just make sure na you read all the rules and regulations before flying there. Para, you just want to make sure na tama lahat ng information nyo. Basta, yun nagkaroon ng announcement.
You don't
if you
need
guys
a visa.
are going there, pwede na.
We highly recommend it. We've been to Beijing, Guangzhou, and Shanghai. They all have different charms. Merong nagsabi sa akin this is a good comparison if you guys are thinking of flying. Yung Beijing is like Osaka of Japan.
Okay.
And then Shanghai is like Tokyo.
Oh.
So, mas cultural yung Beijing. And then Shanghai is like more of the city. Which is true.
Na-enjoy ko talaga yung Shanghai.
Yeah, I loved it. I loved every single.
Yung convenience. Tapos people are so friendly.
So friendly. The food's nice. Everything's just cheap. Not everything, but like the necessities are cheap. The food is cheap. Yung transportation is cheap.
Yeah.
Yan.
Yun lang, just be ready when you travel. Tsaka the good thing about it kasi may mga ilang kliyente na tayo doon sa China. Actually, that we're working sa mga applications sila. So, magka-text kami habang andun tayo. Hindi lang ako nakipag-meet up kasi yung time namin is very limited. No? So, yan.
Okay, so moving on. What's the next thing you want to talk about?
So, ang daming mga questions. And again, yung purpose ng podcast na to is to really provide information. May mga nag-message sa atin sa Facebook, sa TikTok, may mga tumawag sa atin.
Yeah.
Para sa mga questions.
So this episode will not be the same as before na may topic tayo. This time we want to target the questions that was sent to Dodong on Messenger or TikTok. These are actual questions na he handpicked kasi baka marami yung maraming
maka-relate.
Yeah, maka-relate and maraming makakatulong sa maraming clients niya. So para marami tayong masagot, let's start now. Let's get into it. The first question here from client 1. We don't want to name them. Hello po, good evening po. I just want to ask po, ang dami niyang po, she's very respectful. I have this Canadian uncle po na he wants me to sponsor with lovely Canadian sponsorship po. He's still single and doesn't have any, I think this is relatives. na typo lang siya and doesn't have any relatives in Canada po. I'm his niece po, living in the Philippines, and he's planning to get me here with that sponsorship. Is that possible for me to be qualified with this sponsorship?
Yung hindi lovely, kundi lonely.
Did I say lovely? Oh, misread
Yeah.
it. So he wants to sponsor me with the Lonely Canadian sponsorship. So this is, if you watch the movie of Alden and
Yeah.
and
Catherine.
tinakal nila tong Lonely Canadian. So,
Pinag-usapan nila yan. So, yeah, I mean, there's few things that we have to look into, no, before we answer that client, no. And that's why I really want to book a consultation with them or mag-book sila sa amin para we can discuss. Pero based from the website, no, para lang mabigyan kayo ng idea kung sakali man na, kunyari yan, si client number 1, may uncle siya dito na sponsoran daw siya through the Lonely Canadian Program. Una, I strongly suggest, guys, na go to the website ng IRCC. Or you can even Google Lonely Canadian Program. Tapos ipapakita sa ninja nyo yung other relatives na type of sponsorship. Okay. So dito sa website, una, may nakalagay na you may be able to sponsor an orphaned brother, sister, nephew, niece, or grandchild, or your other relative. Okay, sinasabi dito na you can sponsor an orphan. Ibig sabihin, wala na mga magulang, di ba? Orphan brother, sister, nephew, niece, or grandchild only if they meet all the requirements. Una, they should be related to you by blood. Pangalawa, they should be under 18 years old. Tapos both parents nun have passed away. And then they're single. So yun yung unang type na pwede nating tingnan kung si client number 1 ba pwede siya sponsoran.
so if one of those doesn't tick off anymore, automatic hindi na siya pwede.
Yes.
It's so kung hindi siya, of course, parang obvious na yung dapat related kayo by blood or adopted sa family nyo. If they are over 18, kung hindi ka na minor, then you're out. And if you are not an orphan, meaning wala na yung both parents mo, then you're out. And kung may asawa ka na, kahit underage ka pa, you're out as well. You have to be single.
Yes. So lahat ng yun should be met. All of them. Hindi siya either one. It has to be all. No?
Yeah, it has to be all.
Yeah. So tama ka dun, babes. You can't sponsor them. Si uncle naman, you can't sponsor them if one or both of their parents is still alive. No one knows where their parents are. Their parents are abandoned them. Someone else than their parents is taking care of them. Basically, yun yung mga requirements for the uncle. Right? Pangalawang scenario naman is other relative. Which means, para kay uncle dito, he may sponsor one relative of any age if etong si pamangkin meets all the conditions below. Una, syempre given na yung related by blood. Pangalawa, the person who wants to sponsor your relative, don't have a living relative you can sponsor instead, such as spouse, common law, conjugal, son, daughter,
So parang
parent.
ikaw na yung pinakamalapit na kamag-anak.
Correct.
Yeah.
So kung wala doon, no? Kung wala siyang spouse, anak, magulang, lolo, lola,
Or
pwede.
mga apo.
Or mga apo. Tapos, at the same time, you, the sponsor, si uncle, don't have any relatives who is a Canadian citizen, PR, or registered under Indian Act.
Or kung, so etong pangalawa is kung yung uncle mo is walang kamag-anak dito sa Canada na Canadian citizen, permanent resident, or registered Indian under the Indian Act. So, marami siyang criteria. So, I suggest you just book an appointment.
Yes.
Book an appointment with Dodong so you go through all of this. Pero, also, this information is online. You
Yeah.
can check it if you want to read through it.
Meron tayo nagkaroon ng consultation before, babes, na pinipilit niya itong i-apply, no?
Sa kanya.
Sa kanya. Kasi yung ate is mag-isa dito sa Canada. Yung kapatid niya is in the Philippines. Right? Ang only problem namin, kung hindi niya ma-sponsoran kasi nga, hindi pa orphan.
Yeah, hindi pa. Buhay pa yung
Buhay
parents
pa.
nila.
Oo. So sabi ko, ate, kahit nagustuhin mo natin, masasayang yung process, yung investment mo dito kasi nga, by the rules, no? By the books.
Well, in situations like that, when it clearly says na ganito, ganyan dapat yung criteria, pero what if the client insist on, kahit ganyan, kahit nakasulat yun, let's try. What do you do in that situation?
So yung nangyari doon, so syempre, gusto niyang ipilit, tapos ako naman, I'm trying to explain sa regulation. Ngayon, at the end of the day, it will be the client's decision. At the end of the day, it will be their application. Ikaw lang naman yung mag-guide sa kanila eh.
Oo.
So,
As long as you've informed them
inform them.
and they insist on doing it, you have to follow their instructions.
Yes.
Okay.
Tapos yun, so syempre, nagkaroon ng decision na naintindihan niya na yung regulation from this website, and they decided not to
Go
push
ahead.
through
Okay.
the application. So at least malinaw, di ba? At kung sakali man na let's say they wanna risk it, it's their call. Yeah.
Okay. So that's for client number 1. That's your
Yeah.
question. Hopefully that helped you clarify things. Question number 2. Si client P. Hi po. I just want to ask po, magagalang talaga yung mga Pilipino.
Yes.
I just want to ask po if you're helping then for visitor or tourist visa applicant. What is the process po if ganoon? My family is in there and I want to visit them this December.
Okay, good. So ngayon, kung napapansin nyo guys, no, medyo mas stricto ngayon si immigration
Yeah.
when it comes to tourist visa na papunta dito. Kaya sila nag-strict kasi nga naabuso yung sistema. Yung pangalawa naman, yung iba ng mga tourist dito, hindi na sila nagiging genuine tourists na uuwi ng Philippines. Yung iba, syempre, nakita ng trabaho. Yung iba naman, nakahanap ng mga partners. Yung iba naman, nag-study. Tapos yung iba naman, talagang nag-work under the table dito. And then the system has been abused. Kaya sabi ni Canada, let's control. Which,
Yes, of
diba?
course, yeah. That's
Kaya,
understandable.
yan. So yung question nyo dyan, kung nagpa-process ba tayo ng tourist visa? Of course, hindi pa naman ibig sabihin na stricto, sarado na.
Yeah.
So we can still help you. Ang ginagawa namin dito is, una, we want to make sure na we talk to you guys muna para we understand why you are coming here to Canada. That's very important. Para mag-guide namin kayo kung ano yung paano gagawin yung application, ano yung mga documents na kailangan nyo prepare. So for example, kung bibisita siya dito sa Canada Babes to see their relatives or family, so dapat genuine yung reason why pupunta siya dito. Is it for family reunion? Is it for graduation ba? Kung ano man yan. Pangalawa, proof of ties back in the Philippines. Bigyan mo ako ng example. Mga proof of ties.
If you're working, like you gotta declare your work.
Okay.
If you own any properties, what else? Or if you go to school, if you have any if you're married and you're leaving your husband back home, yun, diba?
So, yun yung mga type of proof of ties.
It's just what is tying you back to the Philippines para bumalik ka,
Correct.
basically.
Ano yung pagpapabalik sa'yo doon. So, tama ka. Kung nagtatrabaho ka, may mga supporting documents ka, and dapat meron kang approved leave of absence na inaalaw ka ng company, ganyan. Kung nasa school ka naman, the same thing din. Hingi ka nun sa school, tapos yung mga records mo. If you have business, kailangan i-prove mo na you're running that business na mawawala ka lang saglit. Right?
Yeah.
Tapos mga properties, families, gano'n. So those are the things na kailangan i-consider. Pangalawa, syempre, you wanna make sure that you have enough proof of funds na, baon mo. Kasi yung logic dyan is, magbabakasyon ka. So Canada wants to make sure na somehow,
You can support yourself.
Yes, may pocket money ka. At sa mga instances naman na hindi naman ganun karami yung baon mo, tapos may relative ka dito, isa sa makakatulong sa application nyo is if you have that relative here, provide that letter of
Support,
invitation,
yeah.
letter of support, mga proof of address proof of income.
Yeah.
Yan.
Na doon ka titira while you're here and
Correct.
they're willing to support you.
Yeah. Minsan, may mga ilang kliyente na hinahanapan ng itinerary. Kailan ka papasok, kailan ka uwi. Right? So, yun, make sure na solid yung booking, kailan ka papasok, kailan ka uwi, right? Tapos kung ano yung plans mo when you're here, dapat
List.
naka-list and properly explained, no? Meron tayong kliyente, babes, na ikakasal siya. solid yung application. Gusto nila yung parents nila pumunta dito, right? Pero kahit gaano kaganda yung application, kahit may target tayo na date, sometimes hindi na susunod yon sa approval.
Yeah.
Right? We allotted how many months before kasal. Tapos follow-up na kasi nga family affair yan eh. Yun, kinasal sila, hindi nakarating yung parents.
Oh, okay.
Pero, na-approve
Yeah.
1 week after
The wedding.
The wedding. So, kahit na paano, hindi man siya naihatid sa altar doon.
They're here for the honeymoon.
Ayun. At least nakapag-bond sila. No? So, walang guarantee.
Yeah, you've always been honest to your clients na, you know, you as a consultant, you don't guarantee the result to be a yes, but you can guarantee that their application is as strong as it could be.
Oh, yeah.
Parang, yeah, yun. That's what you can guarantee to
Of course,
them.
do we get refusals? Oh, syempre, normal yun. Can we reapply? Oh, definitely. You can always reapply. Kung may refusal ka ngayon, kailangan ba mag-stop ka muna tapos mag-reapply? As long as you can reason out yung refusal, then reapply, then go ahead.
Because they usually give a reason kung ba't ka naman nire-refuse, diba?
Correct.
So you can usually correct that kung na-refuse ka.
So,
But speaking of visitor's visa, we will be I don't want to say this, but I'm just so excited. We are working really hard on a project that will help you guys apply for visitor's visa papunta dito sa Canada. Pretty soon we will launch it. So we're very excited. I will keep you guys in the loop.
it's a tool.
Yeah, it's a tool that will help you. It'll make it easier for everyone to apply for a visitor's visa coming here to Canada.
Yeah.
Yun lang.
Stay
Anyway,
tuned.
question number 3. So, si Client N. Si Client N, nagpadala siya ng parang document sa message niya. And then sabi niya, ano pong ibig sabihin yan, sir? Nag-apply po ako ng Vulnerable Open Work Permit. So, you can expound on it.
Yes. So, itong si Client N, it looks like na nakapag-apply siya ng Vulnerable Open Work Permit. Tapos pinadalan siya ng Work Permit Extension Letter doon sa GC niya. Or we call it Authorization to Work, no? So, when you apply for work permit, if you apply for extension, ganyan, or Vulnerable Open Work Permit kasi na-abuse ka, right, papadalhan ka ng immigration ng Work Permit EXT letter.
Okay.
Which means that while they are processing your application for your Vulnerable Open Work Permit, you can continuously work and stay here in Canada. Yun yung document na yun. Alam ko marami sa inyo ang familiar dito, pero itong specific client natin, nagtatanong siya, no? Ang problema lang dyan is kung ano yung condition mo at kung sino yung employer mo. So for example, naka-LMIA work permit ka, tapos naabuso ka ng employer na yun, kinumplain mo, nag-apply ka ng VOWP. Hindi ka makakapagtrabaho sa ibang employer, kundi doon lang. with this work permit extension letter.
Oh, so it's up to you then kung paano mo yun i-handle? Parang
Correct.
ganon.
Yeah. Kung ayaw mo na magtrabaho, then it's up to you. Pero yung condition nun, doong employer ka pa rin magtatrabaho kung
Okay.
naka-LMIA, close work permit ka.
Okay.
Pero,
How long does a vulnerable work permit usually come out? Like when you process it, how long does it usually take to get processed?
yes, as per the rules sa IRCC, no, ang sinasabi nila doon, kung ano yung validity ng current work permit mo, yun din yung ibibigay nila na duration. Example, kung may natitira ka pang 6 months na permit,
Yun lang.
Yeah.
6 months lang rin bibigay sa'yo.
yeah. Pero,
Okay.
eto mga ina-apply namin na vulnerable open work permit, nabibigyan sila ng 1 year.
Okay.
Meron kaming in-apply na tomorrow expired na. Pero last minute kasi siyang lumapit, so hinabol natin. Tapos na nabigyan siya ng 1 year.
Okay.
Ang sinasabi ng Canada doon, siguro, they're fair naman. You've been through some hardships, ganyan. So we may give you extra time to adjust and then, para may balik yung buhay mo. And then navigate towards any options later, no? For work permit man yan, for PR, etc. Yeah.
Okay. So, I think that's enough answer for this one, for client N. Hopefully nakikinig ka at narinig mo yung sagot ni Sir,
Yeah.
ni Sir Dodong.
He's from TikTok.
Oh,
Yeah.
is this TikTok?
Yeah,
Okay.
from the 3 clients from TikTok yan.
Okay. Okay, so client 4, this is client K. Hi, good PM po. Sir, ask ko po uli. Ang bankruptcy po ba makakaapekto po kapag nag-sponsor ng family member? Thank you so much po. Everyone's so respectful. It's so nice. Anyway, so makaka-affect nga ba kung nag-bankruptcy na yung family niya pag nag-in-sponsor siya?
Okay. Take a guess, babes. Ano sa palagay mo yung sagot?
I think if it's within, kasi within 7 years, di ba, yung yung filing, pag nag-bankrupt ka ngayon, 7 years magre-restart yung file mo or something like that. I think if you're still in that span, I think it will affect.
Yeah. So
Right?
tama yun. And bakit makaka-affect?
Because they're sponsoring you, they should be capable of helping you out here in Canada, like financially. And if they have a bankruptcy, they too is like helping themselves rebuild their credit, rebuild their life. Tapos magdadagdag pa sila ng another person. So it just doesn't make sense.
That's correct.
Yan.
So, tama. Kung may active bankruptcy ka ngayon, technically, you cannot sponsor yung sa PR application we're talking about the PR application. I think etong si client K, PR or citizen na siya, may susponsoran siya. But unfortunately, may bankruptcy issue siya baka. So yun, hindi siya makakapag-sponsor kasi merong doong question sa questionnaire na if you say yes to bankruptcy, right away, you're not eligible to
There you
sponsor.
go. Yeah.
Kaya that is part of our
What if
consultation.
it's just like a record? What if it's after na? Like,
After, yes,
What
pwede.
if you had a bankruptcy but you're over that?
Yes, pwede.
Pwede na ulit.
Sinasabi, once
Okay.
you are discharged, once
pwede
you're
na.
finished, then okay na.
So I think 7, I don't know, 7 years ba?
Maybe.
5 to 10 years at least.
Sa mga nag-file ng bankruptcy, comment down below.
Comment
I guess.
down
Wag.
Well, some people, they don't hide it kasi it's inspirational. If you filed bankruptcy and you overcame that, that's
Yeah.
something not to be ashamed of.
Yeah.
Kasi,
Or if you know anybody that filed bankruptcy, tapos if you wanna share, no, paano yung duration na yun, kung 7 years man, or sa mga financial experts natin dyan, I know we have some friends, no, you can comment down below and then educate our viewers about that portion.
you guys, if you hear any like heavy breathing and like you see this moving around, it's our dog, Diego. Diego's here with us. Lakad siya ng lakad around. Baka naririnig nila yung footsteps niya.
Yeah. Pero, babes, may tanong din na what if nag-file ng consumer proposal?
What is that?
Actually, hindi rin ako masyadong familiar doon.
I think it's di ba yung I think I heard of this from Ate Kat. Yung parang kino-consolidate lahat ng utang.
Okay,
I
so
think
parang
that's
ganun
that. Parang hindi siya bankruptcy per se, pero i-consolidate lahat ng utang mo into one para sila na yung magbabayad. Kunwari, kasi may multiple credit cards ka, hindi
Yeah.
mo na ma-handle. They'll consolidate it into one and then doon ka na lang sa kanila magbabayad. And then, bear na nila yung ibang utang mo. Parang, pagkasama-samahin nila yung car loan mo, yung mga utang mo, and all other loans.
Into one payment.
So, will that affect too?
No.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, kasi it's not Parang, I think yun yung step before bankruptcy. To prevent bankruptcy, people do that.
Correct.
Parang ganon.
Para extra help yan.
Oo.
So, may mga tanong din na, consumer proposal or consolidation.
Consolidation of,
Yeah.
yun. Correct us, we're not financial experts. So, that's just my,
Yeah.
assumption.
Pero sa immigration side, it doesn't,
Yon. So, okay. So, we're on to our fifth question. We wanted to keep this short as yung parehas sa ibang mga episodes namin. So, we're limiting it to 5 questions per episode. Okay. Last one. I think this isn't a message. This was a phone call you received yesterday. Was
phone
it?
call, ng isang araw, yeah.
Okay. So, interpretation na to ni Dodong. My TRV was refused and I was advised to go home since wala na po. Pati ikaw nagpo ka sa typing mo.
Hindi kasi ganun siya makipag-usap eh.
And I was advised to go home since wala na po akong status in Canada. Doon sa refusal ko, nakalagay na you have to leave Canada immediately. Ang problem is, I have an active PR application and submitted my bridging open work permit. Ang question ko po is, do I stay here in Canada and wait for my PR or go back home in the Philippines and wait for my PR application there?
Yeah, very crucial to, no? Kasi I think ang nangyari dito is may work permit siya before, tapos natapos na, or basta, tapos nag-apply siya for tourist visa, and then may active provincial nominee application for PR. Right? So, ang ginawa niya doon, nung na-refuse yung visitor's visa niya, yung TRV extension, nagkaroon ng refusal note doon. Pagkatapos doon, meron nakalagay na you have to leave Canada immediately. Okay? Walang option to restore, walang option to stay here.
I think I asked you this question before. When it says immediately, parang 30 days, you're given 30 days to leave?
Yeah. Or
less?
Or right away.
Yeah.
Right. So, nung nag-uusap kami, ang sa akin naman doon is dahil merong refusal note ng ganun, so we have to, syempre, we have to satisfy that refusal. You have to leave immediately. Ngayon, kung magsistay ka dito, tapos inignore mo yung leave immediately, makakapekto ba yun sa PR application mo?
Will it?
Sure, may mga solution na you can apply for TRP, you can apply for ganyan. Pero kasi dito,
What is TRP?
Temporary Resident Permit. Ibig sabihin, kung wala ka ng status dito or inadmissible ka na, one more time to ask for reconsideration for you to stay here.
As a visitor?
As a visitor.
Okay.
Gusto ko yung big part of me saying na gawin natin, but big part of me as well is saying na if we do that, it may affect your PR application. So sabi ko sa kanya, kung ako yung nasa sitwasyon mo, I'd go home. Kasi, yun nga, dahil may refusal na tayo, where we're instructed to leave Canada immediately, I'd go home. Plus the fact na may PR application ako. So,
You don't wanna jeopardize. You don't wanna jeopardize that.
Pero ang sabi ko sa kanya, babes, call IRCC the next day or tomorrow, tapos i-explain mo sa kanila kung ano yung situation, give them your application number, your UCI, tapos they can give you better advice. So yung advice ko sa kanya before end of the call, I think you have to, unfortunately, leave Canada and then wait for your PR. Paki-confirm na lang sa immigration kung same kami ng advice. True enough, nag-text siya after makausap na ganun din yung advice. Yun lang. Babalik siya ng Pilipinas doon.
It wasn't the answer he wanted.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pero nag-uusap kami, parang ganun na rin yung loob niya na pauwi na siya. Gusto na i-confirm. Yeah,
Of course, he just wants to confirm that he's doing the right thing.
Yeah. Mahirap man, mabigat man, pero yun yung... Pero, the bright side is, may PR application na sila. So,
Umaandar na yun.
maandar na. It could
It's
take...
just a matter of time.
Yeah, it could take 1 year pa, no? Or maybe less. But at least meron yun. So yun, kung nakikinig ka man, thank you for calling. Thank you for asking our opinion or advice regarding that. Tapos maraming salamat din at tinawagan mo yung immigration just to verify. At the end of the day, huwag tayo manatakot na tumawag sa IRCC. Kasi, you know, public service yun syempre. Diba? So, baka may mas magandas lang ibibigay sa'yo na advice. Ayan. Alam mo, babes, ang dami na nag-message sa atin talaga. Yung iba, very case-specific. Kaya hindi ko siya ma-broadcast dito. Yung iba naman, very general lang and broad that everybody could learn. Yan.
Yeah, we really, honestly, I go through it sometimes. I check in every once in a while on our page, and I would go into this rant on how you guys aren't responding to the clients, ganyan. Alam niya ni Dodong, I check in on every once in a while just to see kung paano yung customer service namin and all of that. And we're sorry if hindi kayo nasasagot or ganyan, but we really try our best. It's just, there's an overwhelming amount and there's only so much we can do too,
Tsaka guys, karamihan sa magtatanong, may LMIA ba tayo? May employer ba tayo? So right now, we don't have any available LMIA kasi everything is filled up by the employer. May mga na-hire na sila, no? If ever man naghahanap kayo ng trabaho, one way talaga is to really go to the job bank, submit your resume, pag-aralan nyo yung resume nyo, yung mga skill sets nyo. Kung meron kayong skill set sa customer service, i-filter nyo, apply nyo lahat ng customer service. Right? Kung may admin position, filter nyo, applyan nyo. The more resumes na pinapadala nyo every day, the better chances na makakuha ng employer. Sinasabi nila na wala naman nag-hire sa job bank. Maybe true, maybe hindi rin. May mga kliyente tayo na nakahanap ng employer sa job bank. Kaya ako naniniwala talaga ako sa job bank. Kung hindi mo sa job bank, guys, syempre andyan na yung LinkedIn.
Yeah, or if you're here, network. You really have to go out there and kind of, network, try your luck.
Yan. Yeah. So, lahat ng mga possible avenues, i-applyan nyo. Sometimes I go deeper eh. Minsan pinag-aralan ko yung economy natin ng Canada. Tapos kunyari may marinig ako, magtatayo sila ng airport dyan, magtatayo sila ng ganun. So malamang baka maghanap sila ng mga employer, mga workers. So those are the type of research ba?
Resources that you can count on. Yon. So, I think this has been very informative, Dodong.
Yeah. Tsaka we know na something is going on sa mundo natin.
Yeah, so everyone who's in that part of the world that's affected with, all of the
bombings and the
bombings
missiles,
and all of that, just keep safe. It's hard to... I was talking about this with Dodong. I wasn't sure if we want to mention this on this podcast, but we can't not say anything. Just be safe, all of you guys. There's stories that we are not aware of since we are not from that part of the world, so it's so hard to kind of give opinions about it, but at the end of the day, we just want everyone to be safe, healthy, and happy. No one deserves to live in like, a chaos like that.
Grabe. Ano kayo maramdaman mo na makita mo may missile na gumaganon sa city mo? No? Oh my
Yeah.
God.
I don't want to imagine it. I don't want to even think about it.
Yung mga casualties, sana you guys are safe, mga kababayan sa atin dyan, and everyone
Yeah.
else, no?
Yeah, everyone else, not just Filipinos, like everyone.
Yeah.
Yan lang. So we don't want to end this on a low note. Hopefully this podcast has been very informative. Let us know, comment on our podcast if you have any topic that you want us to talk about, or just even comments on. I know our setup is not perfect yet. We want to get better. But this is what we have for now, just so it's easy. Gusto na namin gawin kesa sa hindi. And, we
Well, malay mo, may mga
may
friends tayo.
mag-sponsor ng light
Yeah.
and setup.
You never know, right? O baka sponsor din ng Philippine Airlines, di ba?
Yeah. Hopefully you enjoyed the last podcast. We wanna do more of that. Pero yung ADHD brain ko talagang nadidistract talaga ako pag...
Well, thank you very much, guys. And we hope na enjoy nyo to. Nakuha kayo ng konting information. Weekly, we will try our best to maglabas
Be
ito weekly.
consistent. All right, that's it for this episode. Bye.
See ya.